longer time. You have sat here listening patiently to revolutionary and fine speeches delivered by my comrades here. At first, I thought I would tell you the story of Natal. But sitting down here, looking at you and listening at the comrades, I found that I had no story to tell. Because the story of Natal is the story of South Africa. The story of Natal is the story of Africa. Those black faces, those masses of our people had their land taken by foreigners. And since then, the struggle between oppressor and oppressed has been the order of the day here in South Africa. As we were flying to Cape Town, when we were over the airport here, I thought I should look at the harbor there and maybe I'll see the ship that brought the white man's land to Africa. Because we are told that this land of South Africa belongs to the white man. We are told that we can ask for every fruit in this Garden of Eden, but only 2 fruits we must not touch. It is the wealth of this country which must belong to individual hands, and they call it group rights. It is the land which they say belongs to them. They say they discovered this land. When you question them further, they tell us that when Jan Riebeeck came to South Africa, came to the Cape, he had no intention of settling down here. He had no intention of founding a colony, but merely establishing a station for the Dutch ships. Now the question arises, if you set your house on another man's land, isn't that colonization? And who is this Van Riebeeck they are telling us about? Van Riebeeck is one of those thieves who was stealing from the Dutch East India Company and had to be brought here to South Africa. Since then, Van Riebeeck spoke of the black stinking dog which must be shot at on sight, and they've been shooting us on sight since then. Now, comrades, we are here today talking about the stairway. We are saying that the people, to show that they are not in favor of what is happening in one part of South Africa, they should stay away. But we are doing something much more than that. We are voting with our labor power. As you are gathered here, you constitute a part of this constituent assembly the African National Congress is demanding. You are voting with your labor power. In other parts of South Africa, the Orange Free State, where the white right wing is having a pot shot at our people are voting with their lives. We say that in Natal, Inkatha is killing our people. That is an understatement. Once upon a time, it was the Inkatha that was attacking our people. But our people were able to deal with Inkatha. The war that is taking place in Natal is not the war against Inkatha. It is the war against apartheid itself. You know, comrades, since apartheid was introduced by the Nationalist Party government in this country, flowing out of the colonial system of the British Empire, we have had no peace. Apartheid is as violent as its own nature. You know, the people who live in Cape Town know well about the violence of apartheid. When the people were removed from District 6, that was violence against the people. When in the Transkei, the people were gathered together and brought into places what the people call the trust. That was the violence of our people, because that was for the dispossession of the little land they had. Why has the government of South Africa done all these things? Why has the government of South Africa introduced apartheid? Is it because the whites believe in the purity of white blood? Or is it because of something else? There is nothing like purity of race. There is no race which is pure. There are only two races, comrades, on earth. There is the human race and there is the animal race. And no other beyond that. The Nationalist Party government came into power on the ticket of improving the lives of the Afrikaners. And indeed, it gave many of these illiterate Afrikaners who were working on the railways, who were gangers on the roads, better jobs. What job did it give them because they were illiterate? It made them members of the special branch. It put them in the police force. These are the people who started with that dastardly actions of murder. You all know that when the Sabotage Act was introduced in 1963, the first victim of this act was a comrade from Cape Town, Comrade Solwate. Look smart. He was the first comrade who was murdered by these illiterate Afrikaners who were defending apartheid. What did apartheid do? Because they wanted to create favorable conditions for the growth of Afrikaner capital, they started gathering together black labor into settlements called in the Bantustan. Who are there in the Bantustan? The chiefs, the Indunas, are looking after their master's property. They put these dogs at the gates, dogs like Matanzima, dogs like Sebe, dogs like Katapuchenesi. They set them on the people when the people want to remove and destroy apartheid. Because they are made rich on apartheid. None of the Pakistan leaders drive in a small car. They all drive in huge cars. They live in mansions. They are owners of property now, and they are going to defend all this. When we say that there must be sanctions in this country, they organize the starving people to demonstrate against these sanctions. They tell them if you have sanctions, you are going to starve. I don't know about that, comrades. You can't tell me that I'm going to fall down when I'm down on the floor. You can't tell me that I'm going to starve when I'm hungry. How can a starving man starve because he's already starving. That is not the case. All we are concerned with is that their profits and super profits will be diminished because of sanctions. We are going to call for the intensification of the campaign against South Africa, that South Africa must, that all those countries which are trading with South Africa must employ sanctions, except of course for Margaret Thatcher. Comrades, other comrades have told us about war that is going on in this country. I don't want to talk war. I'm a very peaceful man. But I know one thing, that the people there in Natal are in a situation which is slightly different from other parts of South Africa. Why is that? Why is Natal different from Wandebele, from Gangwane, from Crossroads? It is because the whole province of Natal pays allegiance to one chieftaincy, the so-called Royal House of Senzanakona. And Gaja has used his power of being the chief minister together with his royalty to beat down the people of Natal when they are fighting against white domination, against apartheid. And he has called to his aid Swinity and others. That is why apartheid in Natal has become institutionalized. That is why Natal differs from other areas. What do we say as the people of South Africa? We say something very simple. We say that Bantustans are a creation of the central government of South Africa. We say that a man like Buchner, the murderer, who was the head of the special branch in Natal, who is now the commissioner of KwaZulu Police and a member of Inkatha, must be dismissed from that position because he was seconded by the South African government itself. We say that the KwaZulu Police, who were formed in 1986 for purposes of strengthening Inkatha by having Inkatha in uniform carrying guns, must be dismantled. But it is not enough to say that. We say that the powers that Gaja has, the powers of the Minister of Police must be taken away from him. But we demand much more from that, much more than that. We say what KwaZulu government is an enigma in South Africa. And that government serves the interests of murder, the interests of destruction, the interests of poverty and pain on our people. As I'm speaking to you this afternoon, we are using 10 churches in Pietermaritzburg to house victims of the Inkatha attacks. Over 20,000 people are occupying these places. Some of them lost their children. Some children lost their parents. Young and old were killed in that war, that March war of this year. And Adrian Floss, what does he say? He says Inkatha is a very peaceful organization. The only people who cause trouble are COSATU, UDF, and the African National Congress, because COSATU and UDF are surrogates of the African National Congress. Now when you and all of us are deciding that enough is enough, and that we now embark on action to force the head of the government, there are some wise people here in South Africa who tell us that you are going to exacerbate the situation. If you stay away, there will be more bloodshed. What more bloodshed can we have in Natal when over 3,000 people have been murdered already. At first, we tried to talk with Inkatha. At first, we went to the police to lay complaints because we were being killed by Inkatha. Our property was being destroyed. What did the police say? They said, UDF, if you are UDF, go to Nelson Mandela and complain to him. If you are Inkatha, what did they do to Inkatha? They gave him ammunition. They went further than that, they gave him guns. In Natal, the people of Natal are fighting against the hit squad, are fighting against the rail squad, are fighting against audience of police. In very beautiful times, you are making history today. You are helping this woman to give birth to a young child, a child called Nkululeko. If it is a boy, we shall call him Nkululeko. That is what we are doing today. By going to declare, fully knowing his past, fully knowing the Nationalist Party, we are not going to cap in hand. We are discussing the transfer of power. I don't know whether that power can be transferred. I've never seen any ruling class running out of the state all that easy. Power has to be fought for. Power cannot be negotiated at table. Power, what is this power? Power is the wealth of the country. The African National Congress, the oppressed people of this country, say that the people shall share in the country's wealth. And what does the Klerk say about that? He says, yes, I agree with that. I agree with you 100%. People must get something there. There must be a rich distribution of wealth. But he says, you see, there's a forbidden fruit. This one you don't touch. If you touch monopolies, which are the cornerstone of exploitation in this country, the Klerk is at war with you. If you talk about the land, as we are flying down from Durban to Cape Town, we saw vast stretches of land in Natal sugar cane. In the Eastern Cape, plantations after plantations. Then the announcer there in the plane said, now we have reached the garden route. Garden for who? Garden for those monopolies. Garden for those privileged whites. And in between we saw some pimples that were jutting out of that land. And what were those pimples? These were the pimples of the so-called Bantustan. These pimples of the so-called settlers of the land. Comrades, when we are talking about freedom, we want to end all that and let us make it very clear whether it is declared, whether it is Marcus Malan, whether it is Artian Flock, that until we have settled the question of the land, this struggle shall continue. We should like a peaceful settlement in this country. No one wants to see the spilling of blood. The doctor does not want you to suffer pain. If you have a toothache and the dentist tries everything, gives you painkillers, gives you an injection, and cannot end that agony, there's only one thing to took it down. He uses force to extract the tooth in order to end the pain. When the woman cannot give birth in the normal way, there's only one thing that can be done, and that is the cesarean operation. And in politics, that is what we call the revolution, because the child must be born. It is therefore important to remember that negotiations on know something by themselves, that negotiations are not a certain stage in our struggle. They are part and parcel of our struggle. They are one of our forms of struggle in this country. But negotiations will not succeed unless they are backed up by the united effort of the people, unless they are backed up by all forms of action. And this is one of those actions we are going to be putting up from tomorrow. Yes, comrades, we had a priest here, and I believe he's still around. You know, in the Bible, they say there was a certain man who went to look for his father's donkeys. And then they said, all right, we'll make you a king. Now, when they came back home, he was going with the prophets, prophesying with them. And people started asking, is Saul also among the prophets? The same question is being asked by the people of South Africa. Is Asapo also within Ghana? Is PAC also within Ghana? Yes. Who are against this airway tomorrow? Who are against this action? It is big capital. It is vested interest. It is the South African regime, the apartheid regime. They say there'll be bloodshed, as if there isn't bloodshed now, when there's so much bloodshed. Yes, comrades. The priests have said that we must conduct ourselves in a disciplined manner. Well, the African National Congress has endorsed that, not because it is a document of the African National Congress. Because, comrades, we are ever so disciplined. No one has to tell us that we must be disciplined. The only anarchists in this country are the police and the vigilantes. They are the